collaboration with Maxroll, I present the Falconer.
We got a birth.
The Falconer is the final mastery coming to the last Epoch, making its way to Terra on February 21st for the launch of the game. This subclass focuses on your feathery friend, who's the main driving force behind your skills as a rogue. If you enjoy raining death from above, besting your enemies with a sword, bow, or talon, and swiftly maneuvering the battlefield, the Falconer brings a completely new twist to minion gameplay. In this video, we're going to show off the new skills and show off cool interactions from the Falconer. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the different archetypes that the Falconer offers, followed by showing off some builds that will have guides ready for launch. You might also notice some graphical improvements in this video, because there's a lot of upgrades for launch. Let's have a quick look at the skills you unlock exclusively as a Falconer. We'll be going over these and their respective skill trees, but if you want a deep dive and more to chew on, head on over to Maxroll, linked below to find out more. Keep in mind, these skills will unlock as you level. Your character automatically learns them after reaching certain thresholds in the Falconer passive tree. These skill showcases were provided by different Maxroll creators. You can find their Twitch channel on the screen during each skill showcase. I have not seen the Falconer at all, so this is also going to be my first look and my first impression to everything here. First, we're going to look at Falconery, the skill that actually enables the Falcon. Bina, take it away.
Alright, so this is the Falcon from the Falconery skill. As you can see, as you walk by you, he just passively auto-attacks everything. He is a minion, and he is invulnerable to any attacks, so you don't have to worry about his survivability or anything like this. He also has access to an active skill, which you can see him dashing his way here through the enemies and killing everything in its path. This is obviously on a cooldown, so you won't be able to spam it, but there are ways to reduce its cooldown and being able to spam it even more. So basically, this is your Falcon friend, which is the main fantasy around the Falconer. To be able to use other skills, you also have to have the Falcon on your hotbar, as we will see a little bit later, but this is the base ability of the Falcon.
So, Bina, are there any cool interactions that changes the skill a lot?
Yes, so your Falcon can actually use Acid Flask. So if you go to the left side of the tree here, you can actually see that there's Toxic Airdrop, and your Falcon now throws Acid Flask for you. Obviously, this consumes your a portion of your mana cost for Acid Flask. You can max this out so you can throw even more. And then you can even grant him a chance to gain charges when you use Acid Flask. So finally, guys, an Acid Flask buff, and your Falcon has the chance to use it.
Next up, we're going to look at Aerial Assault with McFluffin.
Hey, thanks, Diz. So Aerial Assault is a new movement ability, and one of the really cool things about it is it's not your character moving, it's actually your Falcon moving you. So as you go throughout the world and you use Aerial Assault, it'll actually pick you up and throw you in front of where you were, and it can actually throw you quite a long ways. And at the end of it, it will actually do a Feather Burst attack, so it will do damage to enemies that are in front of you at the very end of the flight that you take, thanks to the bird.
And is there any big things that we can change on the skill to make it have a different interaction?
Absolutely. So I am a huge fan of Shadow Daggers, and I play that probably more than anything else. And this actually gives us a new way to play a Shadow Dagger build. So if we go up here and we take Twilight Strike, we actually get access to Umbral Blades, which has the ability to throw out blades at the same time when the feathers are being thrown out. But those can apply Shadow Daggers. On top of that, Aerial Assault itself has a node that allows additional Shadow Daggers to be thrown out for even more damage. So this gives us a way to play another Shadow Dagger build that's now using the Falcon instead of the typical Blade Dancer. And it does a ton of damage, and you can see all the explosions going off here, and you can build Umbral Blades in different ways to make it spinning blades in front of it, and just allows for a ton of customization even in that small little bit of the skill tree.
Next up, we're going to do Dive Bomb with Boardman.
Yeah, thanks, Diz. Dive Bomb is the last skill that you get access to as the Falconer, and with it, it does a powerful AoE that does a single hit in a big area, allowing you to do great single target as well as clear out huge hordes of mobs that you can round up. One of the sweet things that you can get to do with the Falcon is it has great damage effectiveness, and you can also boost its damage by stacking a lot of your primary stat and by using bow attacks.
So how does this skill work? Do you target a location and it slams that location?
Yep, all you have to do is point your mouse where you want it to go, call it down, and it will fly from the sky, doing its huge damage in a big area.
Do you know what's the lowest you can get the cooldown to?
So the cooldown has a couple of interactions with other skills that actually replenish its cooldown and gives you cooldown recovery every time that you use like traps, for instance, and they explode. You can take off 4% of the remaining cooldown.
Fast
so you can
as
actually
fuck.
make it
That's the
be
TLDR.
used really, really fast.
Wow. And is there any nodes in the skill tree we can take that changes this skill drastically as well?
Oh yes, it has a couple of synergies with other skills. For instance, if you go inside the skill tree, you can make it to you can target over here on the right side the decoy, and when you hit the decoy, you can make the decoy explode instantly when the Falcon blasts. So you actually have decoy, you can throw it out. Decoy will then call in all the enemies to target it, and then you can make it explode as soon as the enemies are close by with the dive bomb.
Combo.
And next up, we're going to see Explosive Trap by Volkit, because the
Okay,
Falconer
PoE
actually
enjoyers?
has individual skills that don't rely on the Falcon as well.
Rejoice.
This is actually the first skill you can get by splitting into Falconer tree. So you only need 5 points on the Falconer tree to get this skill. It's like a classic
Bomba.
trapper playstyle. You can actually do any of the elements as a damage type with this. So you can do fire, cold, or lightning, or even all of those at once. So really cool, like a classic trapper playstyle.
So is that why the traps have different colors?
Yeah, exactly. So I have actually converted this, all of the elements at once. So cold, fire, and lightning. And that's actually the way you can maximize the amount of traps you have at once, pretty much.
It
so
turned, yeah,
basically
PoE
maximizing
on
the
this.
DPS.
Is there any way to make this skill interact with the Falcon?
Yeah, so it can actually give pretty massive amount of buffs on the Falcon itself. So basically, you throw traps, and when they detonate, you get buffs on the Falcon.
So are there any big changes you can do in the skill to make
Yes.
the skill behave differently?
Yeah, so you can actually make this skill a bow skill with the blast train node here. So
This is the
you
OP.
spec the bow skill here, and then you can also get detonating arrow procs on the skill. So you're gonna be like a fully bow playstyle if you do this.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have like massive range, massive AoE. You have procs going like everywhere. Amazing playstyle, at least in my opinion. Definitely the most fun I've had in
Am I
LoL with
playing
bow
this?
skill.
Wow.
You can also do this without converting it to bow, but I mean, the bow just makes it so.
I was
good,
expecting this.
That's
of
like
course.
explosive arrow on crack.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna start squirrel, but now I'm not 100% sure anymore. Holy. And the Falconer also has utility skills. So next up, we're gonna show up the net ability with Tarek.
Yeah, so Net is going to be a very powerful supporting skill in order to control monsters. It basically immobilizes regular enemies and is going to also reduce the movement speed of rares and bosses. And as you can see, it also makes your character leap backward whenever you use it.
Are there any different ways we can make this skill completely different?
Broken.
There is one particular way that is very interesting at the bottom of the tree here. Basically, you're going to convert the net into a trap. And from that trap, it's gonna use puncture. Interesting part about it is that you can actually use bow attacks with it. So it's actually like a range playstyle.
So are those caltrops that are falling down from the net?
This is also another part of the skill tree. Whenever you use net, is gonna throw caltrops where you use the ability, and it's also gonna use caltrops where you aim that. So it's kind of like leaving behind dot on the ground.
So now it's basically a clearing ability. As we've just learned, the Falconer offers loads of different playstyles. You don't have to just be a minion build, and you have loads of exclusive skills that you can't use
not
otherwise
over,
in
guys.
cool interactions with other things. Next up, we're going to look at a build from Boardman, and this is something that'll have a Maxroll
Build
guide and
showcase.
we'll have a separate video
Full-
for this
full
before launch,
builds.
so make sure you check that out as well. Boardman,
Let's
tell us
go.
a little bit about the build.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Sis. This build's going to be using a lot of the Falconer abilities. We're going to have Aerial Assault, we're going to have Dive Bomb, we're going to have Smoke Bomb to buff us with our defense, Falcon Strikes, and then we'll be throwing some Trap. Every time that we use Aerial Assault, we'll leap forward, our Falcon will have a nice Feather Storm that he puts out there. We'll have Dive Bomb to come down and absolutely destroy enemies for single target in a short area. And then when you really need,
Yes,
you can
Misha.
have Falcon Strikes go off, which is going to allow us to just have a bunch of attacks on a whole bunch of enemies in a small area. And then whenever you need to buff your Falcon, we can throw out traps, And every time a trap explodes, it's going to give penetration for our Falcon, allowing his damage to scale and get absolutely ridiculous.
I've seen
Due to
I've seen
Dive
it
Bomb
crit
having really great
for
damage,
5
a
million,
lot of added
okay?
damage effectiveness and scalers with it,
On the
single
dummy.
target is just as good as clearing. So you can go super fast if you just want to speedrun echoes or if you want to take on bosses.
What's the tank on this build like?
It's very tanky. You even get to leech a portion of the damage that the Falcon is doing, and because it does so much
It's
damage,
on hit
you
now.
can pretty much always count on a ton of leech coming in to keep you alive.
So Volka, show us more of the crazy bow build.
Yeah, so we're using Explosive Trap as the main skill here. So proccing tons of detonating arrows and icicles from the Rain of Winter bow. Otherwise, it's a classic bow playstyle, so using shift for movement and smoke bomb and some of these utility skills like shurikens for tankiness.
For full clarity, the build we're showing here is actually a marksman. This specs into the Falconer tree to gain
you have
access to its
detonate arrow
skills
tree.
and passive perks.
Overall, really like strong DPS build. It's really squishy though, so you need to be basically
Not true.
just killing enemies before they kill you. Basically, no defense. You don't really need any defense.
Bow
with
Mage
this build, to be
2.0,
honest, 'cause
Bow Mage
as you
on
can see, the
crack,
gameplay is
basically.
just, well, kind of absurd with the
Yeah,
AoE
it's
and range.
giga power
Maybe
curve,
you
yeah.
could, of course, build some tankiness, but that's kind of the thing with Marksman. It doesn't really have much options for like huge tankiness. You can get cleansing blow and armor, but yeah, of course HP. But there's not that many options.
So can you walk me through all the skills you're using in the build and what they do?
Yeah, so Explosive Trap as a main skill, then that's gonna proc the Detonating Arrow. So we actually don't need to really use Detonating Arrow manually. So sometimes you need to use it for mana, basically just gaining mana on hit. And then Shift for movement, and Smoke Bomb for basically just some tankiness, some Crimson Shroud stacks, Glancing Blow. And then Decoy, you can use Decoy for basically taunting enemies.
And I guess this build just has single target and farming. Like it's got it all except tank.
Yeah, exactly. It has everything except tanky. As you can see, let's pop this here. These enemies are usually pretty tanky. They basically die instantly.
So that marks the end of the Falconer showcase that we're bringing you here today. Make sure you go to Maxroll as well for a detailed breakdown. All in all, the class looks extremely promising, and it's certainly a very unique way to approach the Summoner and Combat Heavy Hybrid class that we've never really seen in an ARPG before in this way. And a huge thank you to all the Maxroll creators that helped show me this and make this an amazing video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed making it. The Falconer comes out February 21st with the full release of Last Epoch. I hope to see you on Terra, and a big thank you to 11 Hour Games for making an amazing video game and letting us show off the Falconer. And as always, try to die less than I do.
K Kona, brothers. K Kona. Yeah, brother. I hope you guys liked it. Obviously, we put quite a bit of work in this. And it's not over. Because you think that's all you get. You think all you get is a YouTube video. What about full skill treat embed tools available for everyone right now? Okay. Let's take a look. Obviously, we did the collab with the video and all that. Updated embeds, all the skills with every showcase possible, all the trees. You can take a look at everything basically. Yeah, builds explained, every build with its tree, etc., etc. Remember how I said, guys, that I was expecting nerfs? We will see. So far, not nerfs. Is there this kind of page for Warlock? Yes. You can just type Warlock Maxroll on YouTube, on Google. Planner is updated. Yep, planner is updated. So go make your Falconeers, boys. Go make your Falconeers right now. Theory crafting. Send me your planners. Again, this planner is gonna get updated, but question: is Warlock or explosive truck marksman? Do you mean Falconer? The trap build we showcased is marksman build. Which we have the same with Warlocks. We do. Yes. We do have Warlock. We have everything. Alright, boys. Let's take a look at the fucking Falcon. I don't know how I ended up in the Warlock. Alright, obviously we've seen the video, right? You get a shit ton of dexterity for being a Falconer. And you also get, obviously, damage for your Falcon per dexterity. And, yeah. Are we gonna do a build tier list? Yes, we're gonna do a build tier list. So, and we're gonna have it for 1.0. I'm pretty sure here it explains, but it says that we're gonna have the Ellie Planner updated. We're gonna have all the builds updated on the 19th. We're gonna have. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Okay, on the 19th. Hope it was earlier, but yeah. All right, let's take a look at abilities now. Shall we take a look at abilities? Falconry. This is basically Falcon. You put it on your bar, and it has this active ability that does this like choo 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 choo. You can modify it in many ways. So we're just showing you interactions here, pretty much. Now he's throwing bullshit. As you saw there, he's throwing things. It does like a. Now he dashes in a straight line, so instead of doing the choo 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 choo, he goes. It does a shit ton of damage, this thing. Like a shit ton of damage. This is the Acid Flask bullshit. I guess you can check Acid Flask 3 and see what happened to it. But new enemy. I don't think you guys have seen these guys before. Leak, guys, leak. Oops. Next. Trap. Regular trap at the beginning, right? You throw it, and it explodes when people interact with it, right? You can do many things with it. You can throw multiple at once. They can be fire, cold, or lightning, or all of it at once. And you can throw them as a cluster, right? Like you can see here. You can turn it into a bow attack, and I think this is what's gonna be the most. I think this is the most OP, basically. This is pretty broken. When are you getting the other 16 videos? They're on my Patreon. As you can see, when you get the Reign of Winter bow, well, anyone likes AOE? Let's see trap. So trap like roots things by default, and it's kind of like a utility skill, kind of snap freeze, you know. But you can make pretty crazy things with it, especially like bleed builds and shit. Now he's using the puncture stuff, I think.
That was close.
Now he's using it so every time minions are hit by it, you can buff your Falcon. Now, these are the caltrops. You can see every time he uses like the net ability, he's proccing a bunch of abilities. It goes pretty crazy, all the procs you can do. Kind of like Warlock, you know. That's the puncture traps. So now you throw traps that do puncture themselves. Bleed builds, you know, rejoice, pretty much. Aerial assault. This is like the dash thingy. And you can make the Falcon do a bunch of shit, basically, with it. Throw Umbra Blades. You can make it do. You can make it so the Falcon does his like spin attack thingy. Yeah, it's basically Queen ability. You can make it do this poison AoE channeling thingy that stacks poison. You can make it cast caltrops, which are basically like AoE thingies that when enemies hit them, they, you know, you can apply hits and shit. Bird shit rain, pretty much. I mean, you have the trees, obviously, here if you want to look at it. And we have Dive Bomb, which is like the big, like, attack. This one does a shit ton of damage, okay? Which skills do I have interaction with Black Arrow? I don't know if there's many from memory.
Not happening.
We can take a look, I guess. To be honest, I don't know by memory. Thank you, Trickster. Now you can dash with it with a spear and shit. Like you can see, like you can do the full. Hey, fantasy note, okay? This is for the fantasy. You get a rocket launcher? I don't know, like. The bird turns into a missile. Orbital airstrike. It's basically Gears of War, like orbital thingy, you know, pretty crazy. Okay, relax. Okay, you guys want to take a look at it? At the trees? Let's go node by node, I guess. I can read it for anyone who's at work and doesn't have access to the planner, or, again, if anyone just wants to check it themselves and they don't want to listen to me, you can just go check the actual reveal or check the planner or whatever. But, yeah. So basically, whenever the Falcon hits an enemy with Falcon Strikes, it marks them. Your next hit against a marked target deals more damage. So basically, the Falcon is untargetable, and by default he has one ability, which is called Falcon Strikes. Falcon Strikes is this ability where he goes like kind of like Master Yi from League of Legends. Okay. So this basically is a more damage multiplier. It's 100% more damage. Hey, it is what it is, you know. Talking about that ability, I guess we can go this way. So you can make this ability hit extra enemies, right? Or attack extra times. So instead of going ti-ti-ti, it can go ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti, right? So your bird flies higher, you know, a bigger bird. And you can also get it, so it gives you mana and health on kill or hit on rares. So this can actually kind of self-sustain as long as it's killing shit, which is very nice. It also has a 16% kill threshold, so even if you're not playing a bird build, you might want to have the bird just as a call, basically. This is really nice. The Blood Dance is whenever you kill something, it actually attacks again. So as long as it's killing stuff, it can theoretically like just go, you know. Yeah. So basically, you know, it has like, let's just say it has 7 hits, but you kill something. Now it can go to 9 hits and so on, right? This one, it makes it a line attack, right? So instead of going like, it just goes, VUM, right? And it's more like, it's less random and more targeted. It's obviously better for corridors and stuff, but worse for like regular AoE, like a line. And you also can make it so a portion of your global increased area applies to Falcon Strikes, which is a minion ability technically, right? And Falcon Strike deal more damage if you have directly used an area skill in the past 8 seconds. Area skills are pretty much, you know, trap, aerial, assault, etc, etc. There's a lot of area. So you're basically always going to have this, pretty much, right? Which is another big multiplier. Yeah. Let's keep going this way. When you consume the Falconer mark, the player can get a buff. So again, even if you are not want to use the Falcon as damage itself, you can get an execute, you can get mana and sustain, you can get 15 movement speed and attack speed buff. So pretty nice. Typo there. If it's there's typo, it's from the game. This is literally pulled from the game. So consuming a Falconer mark instantly recovers Falcon Strike cooldown, but it now costs additional mana, right? So again, the Falcon Strike normally has a small cooldown, and if it consumes a mark, you can just cast it again. So you can like keep going with the ability, basically with the companion ability. It's a companion actually, by the way. It's not just a minion, it's a companion. So any unique that says companion would work on the bird, okay? So it's not just a minion, it's a companion. Then you have Falcon has a chance to inflict the mark. Remember that the mark is necessary to to reapply marks on the enemies and to consume the damage. So basically you keep applying the mark, consuming it for more damage and more damage and more damage. Then you have a percentage of your damage can apply to the Falcon. This is takes into account melee, throwing, and bow and spell damage. And I think it takes whatever it's the highest. Or it depends on the ability, never mind. It used to be the highest, I guess, my bad. So again, I don't know if you remember, but in the passive tree, there's like shit with like scaling intelligence, and maybe there's some like spell build in there. I let the wizards figure it, you know. Then you have casting Acid Flask, and you can, throw more Acid Flasks, and you can also grant Acid Flask charges when you use Acid Flask, right? So basically you can use Acid Flask, get charges, use Acid Flask, get charges, so you're just Acid Flasking all the time. Yeah. So let's keep going. Falcon damage per level. Your Falcon deals more damage per character level and per point of dexterity. Well, if you're level 100 and hey, guys, 20% multiplier, okay? 100% multiplier, potential 300% multiplier. Okay, relax, okay? Oh wait, your Falcon deals more global damage and it's doubled for Falcon Strikes. Okay, more damage. Falcon prioritize targets. This is so you can make it smarter. Smart bird, or dumb bird. Depends on what you prefer. How you like your birds. I personally like my birds smart, but some people like their birds dumb. Unga boonga, exactly. Falcon damage to moving targets, another 20%. And Black Arrow, someone was asking about Black Arrow synergy. well, on every hit you have a chance to get a black arrow 20% chance. And he hits a lot, as you probably saw, so this is basically just casting it every time. Ailment chance applies to Falcon. Again, this is great for things like armor shred, especially if you're going for a crit build, right? But you know, any bleed or anything, and this is a 200% effect, right? So if you have 100, he gets 200, right? What else? Then he also has feather knives at nearby enemies. These feather knives, I think it's the throwing thingy he does, where he like spins a bit and does like a and throws like knives around. Kind of like feathers go out of his wing and like attack things. Kind of shurikens. Think about unspec shurikens, okay? And you can also make it so your throwing attack speed decreases the cooldown of this ability, which is normally by a 10-second cooldown, and your throwing attack speed gets converted at a 220% rate. So you know, if you have 100% throwing attack speed, it's 225% cooldown for this thing. So you can get this pretty fucking low. That's what it's trying to say. As long as you build throwing attack speed and you're energizing with it. This is a portion of the highest of your global increased melee, increased throwing damage, or bow damage applies to your Falcon. So if you have 100 bow damage, 90 melee damage, and 90 throwing damage increased, it will take whatever is highest, and your 75% of it will apply to your bird, right? Remaining cooldown reduction after skill use. Whenever you directly use a melee, throwing, or bow attack speed, unleash one enemy, you reduce a portion of Falcon strikes, which is his base ability, right? Like the choo-choo-choo-choo, right? Then he has a Screech. After the first hit of Falcon Strike, your Falcon leads a Screech, which applies slows and frailty. Kind of nice, you know. Is Squirrel's Beastmaster good? Yes. You can play wolves. Yes. And your Screech can also fear. Okay. So again, a bit of utility. You know, worst case scenario, if you don't want to use this for damage, you know, you have a buff. You can make it cast abilities. You can get mana. You can get an execute. You can get frailty and slow for free. And remember that the Falconer has a multiplier per slow on the target. Okay. Yeah, exactly. You don't need frailty. So yeah. What else? Then we have highest added crit chance equals to Falcon crit chance. In case it was hard to get his crit chance up. Well, he's critting, boys. And of course, whenever you use a melee, throwing, or bow attack and critically strike at least one enemy, your Falcon gains a portion of your global melee, throwing, or bow critical strike multiplier. This effect can occur at most twice every 2 seconds. This stacks. And it lasts 10 seconds. So you can technically get this 20 times, right? Which, again, 25 times 20. Actually, no, yeah. No, 10 times, sorry. 10 times. Sorry, 10 times. So you can technically get, you know, 250% of your crit multi. And we already talked about how much crit multi you can get on this shit, right? With crit avoidance and all that. So, yeah. This guy is gonna do damage. EHG is gonna be like, also we're nerfing Shadow Daggers. Alwizi. Are you a time traveler? So again, whenever you see the video and I said, hey, this guy is critting for 5 million, now you know why. I know you're not a CT, but how do I say that you're right without breaking NDA? Well, I just call you a time traveler, you know. Take that as you want. You know. I just said you might be a time traveler. Okay. Explosive trap. I played quite a bit with this ability, and I can tell you, the most broken thing on this ability is the bullshit, right? So, but we're gonna go step by step so you guys get an idea, right? Explosive trap deals more damage, and it hits shred enemy fire resistance. Each trap, 4 fire shred. So obviously, even if it's just for utility and you're doing fire damage, well, free shred, pretty much. Free shred. Yeah, it's fire damage is by default, yes. And you can make it cold, you can make it lightning, and you can make it... it can throw either the 3 at them at the same time, or just 1, or whatever. You can modify its damage types. By default, it throws 1 fire trap. Okay? Okay, let's go here. Maximum traps 4. So instead of throwing 1 trap, well, instead of having a maximum of 6 active traps, you can have 10 now. So basically, you can have more traps laying AFK on the ground. This is obviously pretty strong if you wanna, you know, preemptively do a boss or whatever, like a Shade of Orbis or something like that. Kind of nice. Whenever an explosive trap detonates, it has a chance to drop a fresh explosive trap. Okay? So 30% chance. So this is kind of like to... well, you know, kind of like traps on traps on traps on traps kind of thing. And if that wasn't enough, you also have explosive trap has an additional chance to drop a fresh explosive trap via the trap sprinkler node, which is this one. So it's 30% chance, and on top of that is like the 70% chance, but that's a bit of mana cost. The traps can get a bit expensive. By default they're 10 mana, but you can easily get them expensive. Falconer will be broken because it has a minion. Minions are always broken. I've been saying it for 4 years. And people keep saying they're weak, so they keep buffing them. Okay, this is actually... You will see why. You will see why. We're kind of holding on the technology. Because we found this. We found about this after the video was done. But... This is... You will see, okay? I think this is probably the strongest interaction in the game. You will see why. Okay, so explosive traps, right? Drops by the trap splinker node are now instead flunked at a nearby enemy within 12 meters rather than being dropped. So basically what this means is like whenever you throw traps and these traps proc more traps, the traps go chase enemies. They're like frogs, you know, where like, whoop, you know? They're like sick enemies nearby. Yeah, it's kind of like homing, yes. It has a range though, so you have to be careful with that. And if that wasn't enough, they can also throw acid flasks. They love acid flask. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Okay, so this shit, obviously this is gonna be very strong, all of this area here. I haven't really seen anyone fuck around with not having sprinkler, but we'll see. Caltrops, air assault, or passives, Falconer. We are looking at explosive trap. So this is, you know, throw additional explosive traps per use, but explosive trap costs more mana. Okay? So now instead of throwing 1, you throw 3 every time. So obviously you reach your cap faster and all that. Whenever you directly throw explosive trap, you now throw traps up to your maximum number of traps in a wide area around the target location. Explosive traps deal more damage per maximum traps, but it has a cooldown. So this is like if you want to use this as a burst ability, where you're not actually a trapper, but you are like you're playing something else, and then when you get to the boss, you just drop like all the traps at once while you're doing your main DPS. It's kind of like a burst node. We will see, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. Keep in mind, you could make this also as a bow, right? So you could make something crazy. Hey, Dreadside, thank you. Dreadside has been part of a very big part of this rebuild. He's part of the Maxroll team, and he's helped us a lot with structuring their article and everything. So big shout out to Dreadside for teaching us everything we know. Okay, so this node is a pretty. This is probably the best node in my opinion. I think this is the best way to use trap, which I think it's a bit unfortunate that the trap itself it's better as a bow attack. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, I haven't fucked around with some of the nodes here, so I'm sure people will find a way. You know, But from my understanding, this is the best in slot way to play this. Either you go for this or you go for this. So this turns the ability into a bow attack. So instead of going in a straight line like throwing, now it's like a toxic rain. Okay. Enjoy the day. Thank you. Yeah, this is like basically toxic rain. Pretty much, it's just like right. And you know, shot arrows attached to explosive traps. And you know, instead of scaling with throwing, it scales with bow now. It basically turns it into a bow skill, fully on. Okay. Then you have explosive trap now instantly detonate when the arrow hits the ground via the blast rain node, ignoring the arming time. So you make them instant, right? So they're not even a trap anymore. They're a full-on explosion. Okay. So yeah, obviously huge quality of life. You know, if they explode faster, you're doing damage faster. So those max traps affect blast rain. Which one? Blast rain? Yeah. I mean, you can have max traps. You're throwing 3 traps. Like if you grab these 2 nodes and then you grab this, every time you use this ability as a bow attack, 3 things rain. Basically, 3. You rain 3 things, right? If that makes sense. And you can make them explode immediately. Obviously here you have mana cost at less damage. So basically what we've been doing at Maxroll is like we make it a bow attack to proc detonate arrow and to proc other bullshit, right? And obviously we don't really care about the damage itself of the trap that way, because we're just using it to proc bullshit. So you just grab this so you can spam it more, right? And the more you can spam, the more things that proc, the more icicles. Keep in mind, this is when this is a bow attack, it works with Rain of Winter, it works with Dragon Song, it works with all of the cast on crit bullshit, right? And all the cast on bow hit things. So if you want to scale the procs damage, then you don't need to use. Then you can just grab this. Then we have more mana efficiency and throwing attack speed, right? And keep in mind the throwing attack speed will turn into a bow attack speed, so good. Then this one is kind of because the Falcon doesn't have enough damage, okay? It doesn't have enough damage with a 500% multiplier. Whenever one of your explosive traps detonate, your Falcon deals more damage for a short duration. 15% damage per hit. No limit. It has a duration. It's just 3 seconds, but obviously in density and stuff like that, it only lasts for 3 seconds, right? The buff, but obviously if there's density, it goes pretty crazy, as you can probably imagine. Oh, I completely forgot about this note. Explosive trap hits have a chance to grant you a dash route. On average, I think you're gonna run around with 100 to 200 dash routes with this node at the moment, because it doesn't have a cap. 50. It depends on the density, Volca, you know. You just need more density. But yeah, this basically means full glancing blow and full dodge. For those who don't understand what dash routes do. You aren't even playing the game at this point? Hey, tell the depths, not me. I'm just a messenger, okay? I'm just a messenger. Explosive trap deals additional throwing damage per stack of dash route. I mean, I guess if you want to do a full throwing build thingy. Bullshit, I'm blaming you. I gave my feedback, okay? Okay, then you have the entire prepared demolition thingy. This seems to me like a bit of a fantasy playstyle. Basically what you do is explosive traps have like a bigger delay, you know? The more longer they have existed and the longer they have... It's kind of like a delayed playstyle, you know? Where you throw them, they're delayed, and they get damage per second. I think if you want to go for a full trapper playstyle, you probably want this. But obviously it comes with the downside of... You probably want to pair it with decoy or something, you know, so the enemies are actually going into decoy. I'm thinking of a build playing with this and what is it called? You know, the relic that gives decoy no cooldown, basically. I don't know what it's called now, honestly. I'm washed up. You guys know what I mean. The decoy relic, okay? Whatever it's called. And explosive trap deals more damage if the arming time is not ignored, but it takes longer to be armed before it can detonate. Obviously, pretty good synergy with this, even more damage, right? Trigger area, detonation area. So again, AoE pretty much, and easier for them to be procced. Instant detonation on fast enemies, hit damage to moving enemies. So basically this is like, if there's like an enemy that is really fast. I don't know what the fuck fast means. Base player movement speed is 528 per second. So I guess more than that. I don't... fast shit, you know? Okay, this one, explosive trap base fire damage is converted to cold. Just a conversion. And this fire shred is now cold shred. Obviously, if you're gonna be using the blast rain with Rain of Winter, the cold shred is basically, well, just free shred. Shield stacks phrase read per intelligence. I guess there's a intelligence build somewhere. But I don't know. Fire penetration per int. I don't know, bro. Always freezes on hit, but it has a cooldown. Snap freeze, basically, right? Snap freeze. Because it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this one is obviously pretty fucking big. When an explosive trap detonates, all other explosive traps now also detonate in quick succession and fire detonating arrows at the original target of locations. This effect consumes mana equal to a portion of your detonator on Marrow cost. That's why you play marksman, pretty much, right? So you throw 3 traps, right? The traps instantly explode. They proc detonate arrows. All of these are bow hits. They proc icicles. That's kind of like the vibe here. And they obviously shred cold for you. That's kind of like the vibe, okay? That's basically the build that Volka showed. Of course it's gonna be on Maxroll, blah blah blah, right? And on top of that you can get detonating arrows fired this way deal additional bow damage per 3 dexterity. Because if detonating arrow is bad, you know, why not make it better to be a proc than manually cast it, you know? What if we make a way where with a single button press, you can cast the marksman ability 3 times at less mana cost while doing way more damage? Hey, this sounds good, you know? Don't you already stack decks for damage? Hey. Again, I'm kind of against this design myself. It's obviously very strong, but I feel like abilities should always be strong as the strongest version as their self cast. The moment they get better with a proc, I think it can be a bit weird, right? But you know, yeah, I mean, it's good, you know. Yeah, I don't really like that they make abilities better to be procced and better to be used, but it's fine. Okay, then we have lining conversion. You know, if you want to do a full lining build where you're just doing detonating arrow with lining tendrils and all that, you can also do that, you know, you can do that. And obviously shock chance and spark charges. Fragment of the Enigma Trapper, boys. 100% chance. Bro. Numbers are subject to change, yeah. Numbers are subject to change. Well, this is explosive drop. Obviously pretty sexy, right? Volca kind of teasing it there, you know. It is what it is. We're a bit of a teaser enjoyers. You know, obviously, maybe they nerf some stuff, maybe they don't. Time travelers in the chat, welcome to the Epoch, you know. Okay, Net. Let's take a look at Net, because this ability might not look that appealing at first glance, but I think it's actually pretty fucking insane too. So Net by default, you leap backwards and you throw this bullshit like a net, basically, very original, and it actually applies like a movement speed debuff, and it doesn't work on, it slows bosses, but it mobilizes regular enemies. It's Caitlyn? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Caitlyn. They obviously play League of Legends, Link. So if you've never played this game and you enjoy League of Legends design of abilities, you are gonna like this game. I can tell you that much as a LoL past enjoyer myself. Alright, let's take a look at it. The net snares enemies for a longer duration. Then you can make it chill and give you mana. You know, cool. Increase cooldown recovery speed, so if you want to spam it and all that, right? Keep in mind this gives it a cooldown. By default, it doesn't have a cooldown, this ability. But this adds a cooldown, a 10-second cooldown, so you can reduce it. And you now jump further when using net, and it has a reduced cooldown. And you can make it a traversal skill, right? And you can make it jump more for dexterity. So you can like, woohoo! Like Super Mario fucking out the wazoo, right? And net enemies deal less physical damage, so again, a bit of defense there if you want to use it for utility. Wait a minute! The Falcon needs another multiplier! Another 40% damage, baby. Okay. More frailty. Cannot be dodged, pretty nice again. Slow stacks when free, that's nice, you know, when it breaks they're still slow. Enemies cannot dodge, enemies cannot avoid crits. So this is basically against crit avoidance and against dodge in Monolith. It's nice. Using net grants you Hunter's Advantage. It's a buff for a short duration, that it grants you more global damage, okay? So again, this is just a 10% damage. So if you play minions, you get 600 more multiplier. If you play regular build, you get 10% more multiplier, okay? And shut up! Minions are weak, okay? Then, while you have Hunter's Advantage, you now also have increased throwing attack speed. Okay, nice, powers, you know. More area, bleed chance, 200% bleed chance, okay? On the first note. I don't know if you ever leveled in this game, right? I don't know if you ever leveled in this game, but a 6 mana cost ability that applies 200 bleed, it's pretty good. And on top of that, it deals bleeds per second, right? You can convert it to lightning, so the bleeds are lightning shred, and damage per global stack of shock. You know, so that's kind of nice. Again, you can use it as a multiplier. Net deals more damage multiplicative with other multipliers per dodge rating. So every 100 dodge, you get 1% more damage. You know, if you have, again, this is not that. I mean, let's just say you have 8,000 dodge. You know, well, you make the math there. It's not gonna be that crazy compared to some stuff. Net deals more damage and it inflicts longer bleeds. So again, this stuff I think for leveling, pretty crazy, in my opinion. And you can make it poison too. Let's go here. No longer flicks back. So again, if you don't want to be flipping around like Caitlyn and you just want to throw it, you can just do this, which is obviously very good if you want to use it as main damage or just for bossing or whatever. And you know, net now throws a trap that releases a net. So instead of throwing a net, you throw a trap that releases a net. So it's basically like being a businessman, you know. You have like it's basically a minion build without the minion tech, you know. You have 100 euro with 200% dodge. That's 100k dodge. Yeah, that is true. You can do that, but then you're not spamming this ability, right? You have to spam the other ability to get. Then the only way to have the dash routes is to keep spam. Well, you know, there's a cost opportunity. You only get that much dash routes if you're spamming the other ability non-stop. I don't think, but whatever. And then the traps use puncture, and you know that puncture can be basically free. So, which abilities are available for other masteries? Trap and net. Trap and net. So trap, it's 5 points. Net is 15 points, I think. Are we on trap? Net, yeah. Okay, so. And puncture can do shadow daggers. Yeah, boy. Absolutely. Again, this is really nice too early on. Again, just imagine a build that goes for bleed chance, you know, bleed duration, damage, no longer flips, and it's doing punctures. You can imagine how many bleeds you can get at level 30 in the campaign or some shit. You know, it's gonna be pretty nasty. Or leveling is gonna be crazy. You can throw additional traps, you know, for more punctures and more AoE and so on. Let's keep going. When using a net, you drop caltrops. Caltrops are the little like thingies on the floor, the little spikes, small spikes on the floor. And these spikes have base critical strike based on your slow. Nice, I guess. And if net hits an enemy, you now also throw caltrops at the target location where the net hits. Keep in mind that these caltrops also, like each caltrop can be hit and shit. So if you have any bleed chance from the puncture buff or whatever, these caltrops will apply bleeds too. So it's basically an extra source of hits. And I'm pretty sure they can get hit by multiple. Again, you grab this lower shit for leveling. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get 500 bleed stacks at level 30. So, yeah, well, you can jump longer, you can jump forward, and you can do smoke bomb after the jump for a bit more utility and automation, which is always, I mean, rogue enjoyers, right? Can you imagine playing a build that does more than shifting? You know, so make sure that the rogue players don't have to press too many buttons in case their brain explodes. Very important, right? So, very considerate by EAG. Yeah. Alright, let's go into aerial assault. Let's go into aerial assault. So, you leap forwards. This is the dash that the Falcon kind of like dashes you, right? The Falcon dashes you. And after it, it does like a wing burst. The same way chat is gonna burst after reading. After playing Falconer, pretty much. And this ability also, this is the ability that the Falcon does. So it scales with his things, right? It's a minion thing. You will see. Aerial assault deals more damage and has shorter cooldown. So wrong tax, is it? Maybe it's not. We'll see. We'll see. I know it can interact with the Falcon itself. We'll read it. A portion of your added, increased, or more throwing damage multipliers now apply to the wing burst. Remember, wing burst is the thing that you do after your Falcon does the thing, right? Then Umbral Blades, 6 Umbral Blades, because why not? You know, you could cast 1 with Umbral Blades, or you could cast 6 with Aerial Assault with a 4-second cooldown. And of course, Shadow Daggers on Umbral Blade hits on top of the regular. Guys, it needs buffs, okay? Okay? When the wing burst kills an enemy and you leave 3 or fewer active shadows, it creates a shadow at the enemy's location. Shadow shit, I don't know. Obviously, you know, if you kill things, it creates shadows, and shadows can drop Umbral Blades, so you can have more, you know, you can do Umbral Blades and kill things for more shadows that do more Umbral Blades and blah blah, right? Then direct damage to high health, so this obviously helps a lot with proccing these nodes, this kind of nodes. The damage bonus from ambush always applies against bosses or rare enemies, regardless of their health. So, you know, 100% more damage against bosses no matter what. Kind of nice. More area of the burst. Frailty as always. Travel speed for dashing faster. Classic utility bullshit. And after landing, all your ballistas prioritize targets around you and deal more damage for intelligence. As well as gaining increased attack speed. So you heard me talk. You heard me talk about ballistas maybe going pretty crazy. 75% attack speed, 2% damage per int. Well, a lot of damage. This is obviously, if you're playing ballista, you're probably using this instead of shift, basically. Yeah, ballistas are minions, yes. Misha, I agree, but I'm still gonna play, you know. A portion of aerosol cooldown is recovered when your Falcon hits an enemy. 10% per hit. He's hitting a lot. So you can imagine, right, how this ability is basically kind of always available, you know. I'm still gonna give feedback, you know. Caltrops on aerial assault, just more Caltrops. Caltrops slow chance and Caltrops damage. Caltrops split chance, 200%. Remember that this is every Caltrop. So you can proc Caltrops from this too, right? So that's another 200%. And bleed chance per dex. An additional Caltrops throughout half wave. So yeah, a shit ton of Caltrops. You can have basically the entire map on Caltrops pretty much. Missing mana recovered 9%. Again, kind of nice, honestly, right? Especially if you have quite a bit of mana. Will it lag? Of course not. The game is crazy optimized. It's gonna be insane. What else? Missing health recovered 50%. Meanwhile, fucking Sentinel has to lunch. Guys, please use the new emote to embrace the new season. We have Lizard Demon. This is how we ascend. This is the 1.0. This is the 1.0, and this is the best combo possible. Embrace Word, okay? This is what you want to be spamming right now. Holy fuck, man. Caltrops? Yeah, Caltrops are like a little... Like you can see here in the video it shows are these things. Did it show it? I showed it, no? I literally showed it, what happened? Ah, these things. These things. Alwisi, let's talk on the 19th, okay? Let's talk on the 19th. We're gonna have an interesting discussion in this chat. Because for sure they're gonna nerf Word too, right? For sure, right? For sure. I mean, what if they buff it? Alwisi, what if they buff it? What if Okay, max aerial prowess stacks. I honestly have no idea what this is. So for the next 8 seconds after using aerial assault, critical strikes dealt by you or your Falcon grant you struck of aerial powerless. Damage per stack. And you can get 36 stacks. So another 80% damage. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, nice. Chance to buff on non-crit. Chance to buff on kill. Nice. Dodge rating while traveling. 320%, because why not? Aerial powers applies to other abilities. What? Okay. Haste duration per stack. And frenzy duration per stack. Let's go, boys. You're gonna be going fast with this shit, okay? Next, dive bomb. Is there a way to use aerial assault? Yeah, you can cast it. 4-second cooldown. In fact, in the video, he's casting it manually. Not directly. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Because it's like a dash, basically. Okay, let's take a look at Dive Bomb. Dive Bomb is your Falcon turns into a bazooka node, okay? So basically your Falcon goes down. It has 500% effectiveness. Guys, Demon Lizards in the chat. Emergency meeting. By default it has a 7-second cooldown, but you can remember that the Falcon can lower its abilities with hits and shit, okay? And you can use there's ways to lower this quite a bit. Remaining cooldown recovered, you reduce a portion of dive bomb remaining when you use a throwing or bow attack hit at least one enemy, 18% per. So yeah, basically no cooldown. Before your Falcon dives, it now uses Feather Fall, that causing razor sharp feathers. Cool, extra procs, extra attacks. You know, pretty good if you plan to do bleeds or whatever. And armor shred, of course, because why not? Dive bomb and Feather Fall hits grant you a stack of Talon blades. You have increased critical strike and crit multiplier per stack. How many can you have? Oh. It depends on the hits, right? So I guess you can get as many hits as you have. But if you use it again, you lose them, right? So it's 3% crit multi per point. So let's just say you hit 20 enemies. So it's 3 times 20, right? Again, considering what's in this class, this is okay. You know? Movement speed with 5 stacks, 10%, because why not? Explosive trap detonate dive bomb, detonates from dive bomb. Explosive trap damage, cool, and they give you a talon stack. So you can do this and then just like get more stacks after, I guess. You can get physical shred, you can get slow, you can get crit vulnerability, you can get crimson shrouds, you can get hit damage per bleed, and 30% maximum, and instant bleed damage. So kind of like a bleed pop. Again, this seems it's strong, but this 30% more damage, considering some of the things we've seen, seems like yeah, this is okay in comparison. I don't know. 16% damage, 72% damage, and more cooldown though. But remember that you can just reduce it. So the more cooldown, the more value this node gets, really, right? So 80% damage with more cooldown. And a remaining cooldown recovered on stun. So if you stun things, you lose cooldown, right? So that's nice. Shadow Falcons. Dive Bomb now creates a Shadow Falcon to strike at the location. So this is the orbital strike bullshit. So instead of 1 Falcon, it's 5. Boom, 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 boom. Right? You do a bit of less, you 25% less damage, but you throw 5 Falcons. So yeah. Dash routes from Falcons. So again, more dash routes. Shadow Falcon for primary attack. A Shadow Falcon tips your Falcon's place to use that bomb. Your Falcon is able to attack. So this is basically so your Falcon can still attack while you're doing dive bomb with a Shadow Falcon, right? So you're not interrupting your main DPS to do this ability. It's kind of like on top. It's kind of like a Shadow does it, right? Kind of cool. Shadow Falcon can dive again, so it like double strikes. And Shadow Falcon damage per Umbro Blade. Hey, 5% more damage, I guess, you know. Meanwhile, regular Falcon 600% more, okay. Blitz stacks, of course. Stats from weapon effectiveness 150%, just in case, right? Leap with a spear counts as a traversal skill, right? You can make it. You can use it as a leap with a spear. I don't know. There's some spear support in the mastery. I don't think it's gonna be really good, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you can use this as a melee attack and kill everything. I don't know. Element damage per 10% increased stun chance 5%. A more multiplier based on stun chance. Kind of interesting, especially because you want to be stunning things. So maybe there's a way to basically get stun chance to scale your ailment damage. Kind of interesting, honestly. This is kind of original. We'll see. I swear to God,
if LL doesn't get nerfed, I'm gonna make that LL build I made for Werebear look like a cakewalk in 1.0. Mark my fucking words.
Okay, that's what you're gonna do if they don't nerf it, right? But what would you do if they buff it? Huh? Sí. No tengo. Pensaba que sí quiero. I'm going to make the most degenerate build. We can theory craft some things if you want. I know some of the people in the Maxroll team, like Volka, have cooked some things. What if I can tell you that some of the builds we've seen can get 50k worth? Huh? This is a what if. Okay, this is a what if. Of course. And yeah, we have the mana gained on boss rare or hit, which is nice. We can use decoy damage, and it does the dive bomb hits the decoy, right? So you can make it like combo. It's kind of nice actually. Boardman showed this on his video. And you can make smoke bombs half duration. Who cares? Okay. I mean, you can technically talk about Volka. You can technically talk about anything Falconer, right? But yeah, there is some things. For example, I don't like. Just obviously theory crafting, but what if, right? What if, right? What if we go marksman, right? What if, right? And we go frostbite shackles. We give you ward gain on freeze, right? And we also go boots of the erase, right? And we also just a thought, right? And we also go detonate arrow, right? And we get it freeze rate per 1% res, right? 5. What if, right? Keep in mind, this is not 5%. This is 5 flat. Right? And you go 1000 cold res, right? Let me do the math, okay? Quick math, guys. If we do 5 times 1000, 5000 freeze rate multiplier, can you actually get 1000 cold res? Yeah, why not? I mean, you can with idols and tier 7 everywhere and all that. Why not? Keep in mind there's so many items that give you all res and all that, you know. For sure can. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the best way to go about it, but let's just say you have 300, 400, 500, right? Does it really matter? So what if, right? Guys, what if, right? What if we go Falconer? Actually, I'm pretty sure we have some what ifs here, no? Courtesy of the team. Ocearon, yeah. I think we have some what ifs here, no? What ifs? Is this the what if section, Volka? This is the what if section? The first part. After or before? Is Bowmage viable? Okay, why? You could play Bowmage, right? You could play Bowmage, or you could play Trap Mage. Look. Trap Mage, better. Why do... What is this algorithm? Fucking hell. We can't escape it. We cannot escape it. Fucking hell. Click on the video. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I mean... Again, keep in mind that... Let's type minion. Okay, so 5% crit chance here. This... For... crit multi-crit chance for ballista, these double dips. This, again, how much crit avoidance can we get realistically, right? Maybe this node gets nerfed, but it could get buffed, right? It could get buffed. It could get nerfed, but it could get buffed, right? Maybe. So how much crit avoidance can we get on a character, guys? How much can we get? So if we go like the fucking logos are so fucked because things. What if we do crit avoidance, right? Oh, fuck, I'm not. And we go. What if we go full crit avoidance, right? Right? Just with this and the passive, right? That's 200% crit avoidance. The classic new class thing. Maybe. Okay. I'm gonna rewatch the Ziz video, but this time we're gonna be pausing, okay? This time we do pausing on this, okay? Pausing on this.
In collaboration with Maxroll, I present the Falconer.
What is this, by the way? Oh my
The
god.
Falconer is the final mastery coming to Last Epoch, making its way to Terra on February 21st for the launch of the game. This subclass focuses on your feathery friend, who's the main driver.
Okay, so this is the base attack thingy that he has, the choo-choo-choo-choo, right? The Falcon Strike.
Driving force behind your skills as a rogue.
That is the Feather Storm. The Feather Burst, what is it called? Whatever, the after die bomb. Oops, after die bomb.
If you enjoy raining death from above, besting your enemies with a sword, bow
Okay.
or talon, and swiftly maneuvering
That's the Falcon Strike again.
the battlefield, the Falconer brings a completely new twist
That's
to
the die
minion
bomb.
gameplay. In this
Those
video,
are the
we're going to
traps
show
that
off
give
the
you
new skills
damage,
and
right?
show off cool interactions from the Falconer. Then we're going to talk a little bit about
Falcon Strikes by
the
default.
different archetypes that the Falconer offers,
That's the die bomb with extra range.
followed by showing off some builds that will have guides ready for
This is the trap mage, I guess. Trap mage.
launch. You might also notice some graphical improvements in this video because there's a lot of upgrades for launch. Let's have a quick look at the skills you unlock exclusive.
Well, Falconer has HP on top. He doesn't. He can. He's not targetable. So I'm
As a
begging you,
Falconer.
please.
We'll be going over
What?
these and their respective skill
Tell me that Cleaver is getting enough. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
trees. But if you want a deep dive and more to chew on, head on over to Maxroll, linked below to find out more. Keep in
Was
mind
that Solarm Ascent? No, that's Does it say?
launch. You might also
It doesn't say. So
notice some graphical improvements in this video because there's a lot
Well,
of upgrades for launch.
you should know where this
Let's
is if
have
you
a
played the
quick look at
campaign.
skills you unlock exclusively as a Falcon.
What does it have to do with Mage? Because it does magical damage. So even though it's using traps, it's actually a spellcaster.
We'll be going over these and their respective skill trees. But if you want a deep dive and more to chew on, head on over to Maxroll, linked below to find out more. Keep in
Do I think Trap Mage will be the strongest one? One of the... We call it Blast Rain. It's gonna be called, because the node is called Blast Rain. But I don't think it's gonna be the strongest, no.
mind, these skills will unlock as you level.
There's stronger
Your
shit.
character automatically learns them after reaching
Ballistas is
thresholds
gonna
in
be the
Falconer
strongest.
passive
You will
tree.
see.
These skill showcases were provided by different Maxroll creators. You can find their Twitch channel.
Guess? Guys.
These
Guess
skill
who
showcases
submitted
were
the clip where
provided
he
by
gets
different
stunned.
Maxroll
Guess who submitted the clip where he gets stunned.
creators. You can find
This guy, man. Of course it was Vina. Fucking hell.
their Twitch channel on the screen during each skill showcase. I have
Oh,
not
God.
seen the Falconer
Oh,
at
it's
all,
Vina,
so
it's
this is
Vina.
also going to be my first look and my first impression to everything here. First, we're going to look at Falconry, the skill that actually enables the Falcon.
Summons a falcon that fights with you. Why not for you, though? I want him to be my slave. Arbalista and basic rogue tree? Yes. You unlock them at very early on,
Either
actually,
way.
I think.
Alright, so this is the Falcon from the Falconry skill. As you can see, as you walk by you, he just passively auto-attacks everything.
Okay. There goes Bina getting stunned again.
He is a minion, and he is invulnerable to any attacks. So you don't have to worry about his survivability or anything like this.
I love
He
Bina,
also
man.
has
Okay, physical mana minion instant cast. So you don't have to stop moving to cast this ability, which is pretty nice. That is the choo-choo-choo-choo-choo thingy.
access to an active skill, which you can see him dashing his way here through
There it is. Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo.
the enemies and killing everything in its path.
Experimental. Dude, why is that shit in the game?
This is obviously on a cooldown, so you won't be able to spam it, but there are ways to reduce its cooldown and being able to spam it even more.
You see, he does his basic attack normally, right?
So basically, this is your Falcon friend, which is the main fantasy around the Falconer. To be able to use
It
other
actually has pretty nice sounds. Like if you listen to the video properly with headphones and stuff.
skills,
It's
you
nice.
also have to have the Falcon on your hotbar, as we'll see a little bit later, but this is the base ability of the Falcon.
So, Bina, are there any cool interactions that changes the skill a lot?
Yes, so your Falcon can actually use Acid
Yeah,
Flask.
you need to make
So
it
if
instant,
you go
but
to
it's
the
nice.
left
Yeah.
side of the tree here, you can
The acid flask. We will see.
actually
Maybe
that
acid
there's
flask
toxic
gets some love.
airdrop,
We'll
and
see.
Your Falcon now throws Acid Flask for you. Obviously, this consumes your a portion of your mana
Boink,
cost
boink.
for Acid Flask. You can max this out, so you can
Boink.
throw even more, and then you can even grant him a chance to gain charges when you use Acid Flask. So finally, guys, an Acid
Okay, already leaks, guys. New clerics.
Flask buff,
Look at this, guys. Have you seen this model before?
and your Falcon has the chance to use it.
Star of Chaos in the belly and everything.
Next up, we're going to look at Aerial Assault with McFluffin.
Hey, thanks, Diz. So aerial assault is a new movement
New Scorpion models. Okay.
ability, and one of the really cool things about it is it's not your character moving. It's actually your
New Scorpion models.
Falcon.
New Hydra mob. Okay, guys. See you on chapter 5.
Really cool
That's all I'm
things
gonna
about it
say.
is it's not your character moving. It's actually your Falcon moving you. So
Oh! Guys, big Scorpion.
it's not your character moving. It's actually your Falcon moving.
Okay. Chunky boy.
you.
Okay. Okay.
So as you go throughout the world and you use aerial assault, it'll actually pick you up
Updated model, you guys are not even gonna recognize 1.0. You're not even gonna recognize it.
and throw you in front of where you were, and it can actually throw you quite a long ways. And at the end of it, it will actually do a feather burst attack, so it will do damage
As you
to
can probably
enemies that are in
tell
front of you at
by
the
some
very
things.
end of the flight that you take, thanks to the bird.
And is there any like big things that we can change on the skill to make it have a different interaction?
Absolutely. So I am a huge fan of shadow daggers, and
Of course, Lone Star McFluffin is talking about shadow daggers.
I
Of
play that
course,
probably more
he
than
couldn't
anything
hold
else.
himself.
This actually gave us a new way to play a shadow dagger build. So if we go up here and we take Twilight Strike, we actually get access to Umbral Blades, which has the ability to throw out blades at the same time when the feathers are being thrown out.
Oh yeah.
But those can apply shadow daggers. On top of that, aerial assault itself has a node that allows additional shadow daggers to be thrown out.
So just for anyone who doesn't understand what this means, it means that you apply shadow daggers twice as fast with this kind of Umbral Blades.
For even more damage. So this gives us a way to play another Shadow Dagger build that's now using the Falcon instead of the typical Blade Dancer, and it does a ton.
And people were asking me, do you think Blade Dancer should go to S now? No, because Falconer is just better.
Ton of damage, and you can see all the explosions going off here, and you can build Umbral Blades in different ways to make it spinning blades in front of it, and just allows for a ton of customization even in that small little bit of
Okay.
the skill tree.
Next up, we're gonna do
Dive Bomb, Dive
with
Bomb.
Boardman.
Yeah, thanks, Sis. Dive Bomb is the
Okay,
last skill that you get access to as the Falconer,
Bomb.
and with it, it does a
this ability hits like a fucking truck. I've seen it hit for like 6 million and shit. And so yeah.
powerful AoE that does a single hit in a big area, allowing you to do great single target as well as clear out.
And
huge
this is like with
hordes of
CT
mobs that you
gear,
can
like
round
fooling
up.
around and.
One of the sweet things that you can get
Oh, guys, look at these enemies.
clear out huge hordes of mobs
Let's
that you can
listen.
round
Okay,
up.
they throw spears.
One of the sweet things that you can get to do with the Falcon is it has great damage effectiveness, and you can also boost its damage
I wonder what this area is in the game.
by stacking a
Void horror.
lot of your primary stat and by using bow attacks.
So how does this skill work? Do you target a location and it slams that location?
Yep, all you have to do is point your mouse where you want it to go, call it down, and it will fly from the sky, doing its huge damage in a big area.
Nice.
Do you know what's the lowest you can get the cool?
Look at this fucker. Do you recognize this mob in the chat? Anyone recognizes this mob?
Cooldown to?
So the cooldown has a couple of interactions with other skills that actually replenish.
It's on the Forsaken Trail. So
Its cooldown.
is that new cleric? Well, it is.
And gives you
It is the Forsaken Trail.
cooldown recovery every time that you use like traps, for instance, and they explode. You can take off 4% of the remaining cooldown, so you can actually
I don't think you can recognize the You literally cannot recognize the Forgotten Trail. You literally cannot recognize
make
it.
be reused really, really fast.
Wow. And is there any nodes on the skill tree we can take that changes this skill drastically
What the fuck, satanic shit? Like,
as well?
Oh yes. So it has a couple of synergies with other skills. For instance, if you go inside the skill tree, you can make it to your target.
Embrace
over here on the
ward.
right side, the decoy, and when you hit the decoy, you can make the decoy explode instantly when the Falcon blasts. So you actually have decoy. You can throw it out. Decoy will then call in all the enemies to target it, and then you can make it explode as soon as the enemies are close by
Look at the fog effect.
with the dive bomb.
Join us.
And next up, we're going to see Explosive Trap by Volkit, because the
Yeah,
Falconer
that game is
actually
clean.
has individual skills that don't rely on the...
Is that the one on the Lilas Arbor? It's after the Lilas Arbor. It's before you get. It's like before you get to the cultist camp.
on the Falcon as well.
This is actually the first skill
Do you guys recognize this place? What is this place?
you can get by splitting into Falconer tree. So you only need 5 points on the Falconer tree to get this skill. It's like a classic
Do you recognize the layout?
Falconer tree. So you only need 5 points
I do. The ship? Good guess.
on the Falconer tree to get this skill. It's like a classic trapper
Good
play
guess.
style. You can actually do any of the elements as a damage type with this. So you can do fire, cold, or lightning, or even all of those at once. So really cool, like a classic trapper play style.
Is that a lobster?
Even elements trapper plays. You only need 5. This is actually the first skill you can get by splitting into
Where's the
Falconer
lobster?
tree. So you only need 5 points on the Falconer tree to get this skill. It's like a classic trapper play style. You can
You mean the big enemy? Shoot some beam? No, those are the
actually do
tortoises.
any of the elements.
I think those are in the game
as a
already.
damage type
No?
with this, so you can do fire, cold, or lightning,
I need to be careful
or even
not breaking
all of
NDA,
those at
Monka.
once.
Okay, you have not seen these guys though. Okay, let's take a look at this guy.
So really cool, like a classic trapper play style.
So is that why the traps have different colors?
Yeah, exactly. So I have
Look at him,
actually
look at him.
converted this, all of the elements at once, so cold, fire, and lightning, and that's actually the way you can maximize the amount of traps you have at once, pretty much. So basically maximizing the DPS.
Is there any way to make this skill interact with the Falcon?
Yeah, so it can actually give pretty massive
jump?
amount of buffs on the Falcon itself. So basically, you throw traps, and when they detonate, you get buffs on the Falcon.
So are there any big changes you can do in the skill to make the skill behave
Oh
differently?
yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually make this
He's teasing it. Guys, he's teasing it.
skill a bow skill with the blast train node here. So you spec the bow skill here, and then you can also get detonating arrow procs on the skill. So you're gonna be like a fully bow playstyle if you do this.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have like massive range, massive AoE. You have procs going like everywhere. Amazing playstyle, at least
Look at the word.
in my opinion. Definitely the most fun I've had in
Am I
LD with
playing
bow skill.
this? Wow.
You can also do this without converting it to bow, but I mean, the bow just makes it so good, you know.
In the campaign. do not forget.
That's like explosive arrow on crack.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna start squirrel, but now I'm not 100% sure anymore. Holy. And the Falconer also has utility skills. So next up we're
Do
gonna
you see any
turn
new
him-
enemy?
Holy.
I can't.
And the Falconer also has
I
utility
don't. I
skills.
can't
So next up we're
differentiate
gonna show
live
up the
from
net
CT
ability
anymore.
with Tarek.
Yeah, so net is gonna be a
Okay, there is a change here. I remember.
very powerful
New
supporting
rate
skill in
animation.
order to control monsters. It basically immobilizes regular enemies and is gonna also reduce the movement speed of rares and bosses. And as you can see, it also makes your character leap backward whenever you use it.
Are there any different ways we can make this skill completely different?
Dogs.
There is one particular way that is very interesting at the bottom of the tree
Okay.
here. Basically, you're gonna
The
convert
puncture
the
stuff
net
is so
into a
nice.
trap,
It's cool.
and from that trap, it's gonna use puncture.
Obviously, you are
Interesting
guys
part
familiar
about
with
it
this
is
stuff.
that you can
It's the
actually
new,
use
the new stuff.
bow
Right?
attacks with it. So it's actually like a ranged playstyle.
So are those caltrops that are falling down from the net?
This is
Yep.
also another part of the skill tree. Whenever you use net, is gonna throw caltrops where you use the ability,
And keep in mind, this is like with scuffed, YouTube compression bullshit.
and it's
Like,
also gonna
it's-
use
on your
caltrops
PC, it's gonna
where
be
you
like
aim
crazy.
that. So it's kind of like living.
Like this is compressed as recorded, compressed to send it to Zizaran's editor, compressed to upload to YouTube, to then compress to rebroadcast on Twitch. So it's like
line dot on the ground.
when you play, you
So now
will
it's
see
basically a clearing ability.
well, how it looks on your
As
monitor.
we've just learned, the Falconer offers loads of different playstyles. You don't have to just be a minion build, and you have loads of exclusive skills that you can't use otherwise.
We will
and
see,
cool
Misha.
interactions
We'll
with
see.
other things.
I
Next
think
up,
you
we're
guys
gonna
have
look
seen
at a
this.
build from
I don't think you guys have seen this.
Boardman.
Desert canyons, and it's nighttime.
And this is something they'll have a Maxroll guide, and we'll have a separate video for this before launch.
New Sabertooth?
Build from Boardman, and this is something they'll have a Maxroll guide, and we'll have a separate video for this before launch. So make sure you check that out.
You guys haven't seen
This
those
is
guys
something
either,
they'll
no? You guys haven't seen the Hydras.
Have a Maxroll guide, and we'll have a separate video for this before launch, so make sure you check that out as well. Boardman, tell us a little bit about the build.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This build's going to be using a lot of the Falconer abilities. We're going to have Aerial Assault, we're going to have Dive Bomb, we're going to have Smoke Bomb to buff us with our defense, Falcon Strikes, and then we'll be throwing some traps.
A new Sabertooth model.
Every time that we use
I'm pretty
Aerial
sure.
Assault, we'll leap forward. Our Falcon will have a nice Feather Storm
Big boy. I'm pretty sure they teased the art for this before, or the models.
that he puts out there. We'll have
I'm pretty sure they're on ArtStation. I've seen this guy before on ArtStation.
Dive Bomb to come
If you
down.
just type Ellie... Actually, let me show it to you. Are you guys familiar with this? With ArtStation? Let's go. Fucking people just like upload a lot of things here, and I'm pretty sure I've seen the. I don't know. This is a new Raptor, I guess. I don't think this is in game yet. Maybe it's a pet. I've seen. I think the Sabertooth is bird. That's the Sabertooth. There's definitely versions, looks like. You can find a lot of shit in here. New armors. Well, enough is enough.
Absolutely destroy enemies for single target in a necessary area. And then when you really need, you can have Falcon Strikes go off, which is going to allow us to just have a bunch of attacks on a whole bunch
You guys have not seen these guys either, right? The soul binders.
of enemies in a small
Oh,
area.
can't say
And
anything,
then
I
whenever
guess.
you need to buff your Falcon, we can throw out traps.
But let's see what he just did.
A whole bunch of enemies in
I
a
guess I
small
can
area.
I can talk about it since it's in the video.
And then whenever you need to buff your Falcon,
Look at him. Look at him.
we can throw out traps. And every time a trap explodes, it's going to give penetration for
yeah.
our Falcon, allowing his damage to scale and get absolutely ridiculous.
What is
Due to
the
Dive Bomb
bug?
having really great damage, a lot of
Mercware?
added damage
If it's like some
effectiveness and
visual
scalars with
thing,
it,
it's
single
just because
target
we're
is
pulling
just as good
data
as
from.
clearing, so you can go super fast.
We have
if you just wanna
it can't be
speedrun
fixed
echoes,
at
or
the
if you
moment.
want to take on bosses.
What's the tank on this build like?
Number bug. I think.
It's very tanky. You even get to leech a portion of the damage that the Falcon is
that's just
doing,
a
and
game.
because it
It's
does
not
so much
really- it's not
damage,
really
you can
ourselves.
Pretty much always count on a ton of leech coming in to keep you alive.
We're
So,
literally
Volker,
pulling the
show
data
us more of
from
the crazy
the
bow
game.
build.
So it's
Yeah,
on
so
their thing.
we're using Explosive Trap as the
Thank you.
main skill here. So proccing tons of detonating arrows and icicles
Okay.
from Winter Bow.
And this
Otherwise,
is
it's a
the start of the
classic
show,
role
you
playstyle,
know.
So, using shift for movement and smoke bomb and some
Look at the number of icicles.
of these utility skills like shurikens for tankiness.
For full clarity, the build we're showing here is actually a marksman. This
Yep.
specs into the Falconer tree to gain access to its skills and passive perks.
Overall, really like strong DPS build.
Keep in mind, this also has a 100% chance to apply Spark Charge on hit. So
It's really squishy though, so you need to be basically just killing.
maybe a fragment of the Enigma trap is kind of POC, no? What if you do fragment of the Enigma trap, and then you scale int for fragment of the Enigma? Because you can do a bunch of things with int, no? Well, it could be
enemies before
interesting.
they kill you. Basically, no defense.
I don't know if it's gonna
You
be
don't
good.
really
but-
need any defense with this build, to be honest, because
Oh my
as you
god!
can see, the gameplay is just, well, kind of, kind of absurd with
I love how Bolka is trying to explain this without it saying it's fucking broken.
the
you know?
AoE.
It's like, well, the gameplay, as you can see, it's great.
range. Maybe you could,
Hey,
of course, build some tankiness, but that's kind of the thing with marksman. It doesn't really have much options for like huge tankiness. You can get cleansing blow and armor, but yeah, of course HP, but you know, there's not that many options.
So can you walk me?
You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure he recorded this shit without the dash route note, right? Because we were expecting it to we were like there's no way they're just gonna add a cooldown or something. So we didn't want to showcase things that were not gonna be like realistic, right?
Walk me through all the skills you're using in the build.
I
and
guess
what
we were
they do?
wrong.
Yeah, so explosive trap as a main skill, then that's gonna proc the detonating arrow. So we actually don't need to really use detonating arrow manually. So sometimes you need to use it for mana. Basically,
Obviously,
just get
it looks
mana
really
with it.
cool and it looks
then
really
shift for
fun.
movement
So I mean,
and,
to
smoke
be honest,
combo.
I rather have something. If something has to be broken, I much rather have something that is fun and that people enjoy than zombie loop or whatever, you know. So
Basically just some tankiness, some Crimson Shroud.
so
stacks,
yeah, I mean, at
Dancing
least it's
Blow,
fun. I don't know.
And then decoy. You can use decoy for basically taunting enemies.
And I guess this
I love how
build
Ward
just has
stays
single target and
100,
farming,
always
like,
never
it's
moving.
got it all except tank.
I think
Yeah,
he just
exactly.
has
It has
Ward
everything except
threshold
tankiness.
on his
As
gear
you
or
can see, let's,
something,
pop
or
this
it might be a
here.
visual bug.
These enemies are usually pretty tanky. They basically die instantly.
So that marks the end of the Falconer
Okay.
showcase that we're bringing you here today. Make sure you
Skeletons,
go to
boys,
Maxroll
new
as well
skeleton
for a
models.
detailed breakdown. All in all, the
Look at this shit, man. Ugh.
class looks extremely promising, and it's starting a very unique way to approach the Summoner and Combat Heavy Hybrid class that we've never really seen in an ARPG before in this way. And a huge thank you to all the Maxroll creators that helped show me this and make this an amazing video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed making it. The Falconer comes out February 21st with the full release of Last Epoch. Hope
Again,
to see you at
guys,
the
if
Terra,
you
and a big thank you to
don't
11
own
Games
this
for
game or
making an
anything,
amazing
you know,
video
you can
game
buy the
and letting
game
us show off the
on
Falconer.
Steam or Nexus of any creator
And
of your
as
choice,
always,
including myself.
Try to die
You know, the game is gonna be a
less than
blast.
I do.
It's the first cycle. I don't expect balance at all, but I think it's gonna be really fun. The factions are gonna be a ton of fun, and I think overall it's gonna be a great experience. And yeah, I hope you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys have fun. I hope you guys enjoy the thing. Again, if you guys want to fuck around with Warlock or with like how is it called? With Falconer. Sorry, you want to make your builds and shit. Again, the planner is not ideal at the moment. It is getting updated. It has been teased on the Maxroll thingy, right? That we are actually getting a planner update and well. So hopefully, actually, well, I've said this before. We're gonna update the planner, so yeah, it's gonna be great. You still can't decide what to practice. Can you elaborate? Shall we make a poll, guys? Poll. Shall we make a poll? How do I do this? I've completely forgot. I just make a straw poll. Falconer or Warlock? Falconer, Warlock. Create poll. Oh fuck. Okay, copy pasta, boys. Falconer or Warlock, boys? Falconer or Warlock? Let's see it. Falconer or Warlock? I'm kind of interesting. I'm kind of interested. Like, honestly, this made you doubt Warlock. First, thanks for the flashback. I tried making it smaller. Like, Sorry. I normally have dark mode on everything, but the correct answer is marksman. Okay. Yeah, we will see what they do with shaman too, because they said some skills are changing now. Guys, there's no flashbang anymore, okay? So Falconer, huh? It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. You'll probably play what Bolka plays. Patch notes on the 19. That is an assumption. That is an assumption that I cannot confirm or deny. The Falconer is a bit biased because the Warlock rebuild was a wreck. You mean it was a wreck? Because it reminds you of a train? Because it came on different wagons? Like different episodes? Is that what you said? Because it was like one day, you know, like it was like going on a train? Or is that why it was a wreck? It came in compartments, or? Ah, yeah, that's a good analogy actually. That's good. East European train. More like a hype train, baby. Sub to my Patreon. More like a hype train. Well, again, we put a lot of time. We put a lot of time into this. I don't know. I hope you guys like it. Oh man, I wish I could speak. Oh man. Volka, have you seen? Oh my god. I wish I could speak, but I can't. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We tried to do it the best we could. We thought about, you know, I mean, to be honest, we had planned to do it this way before the entire Warlock thingy, right? So it was kind of like, yeah. This was basically what we had planned from the beginning, so it's not like we changed our plans or anything, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed my company. If you enjoyed the rebuild with me, and I don't know, I'm honestly giga tired in real life and everything. I appreciate you guys checking my stream, and you know, I haven't streamed in a while. A lot of people ask me, "Hey Lizard, why are you not streaming? It's 1.0." Well, the reason I'm not streaming is because I just have a lot of work to do. Like, all the guides have to be updated, all the embeds have to be done. You have to talk to the engineers, you have to talk to the people doing all the tools and the embeds, telling them, this is not how it works, fix this, fix that. I want the planner to have this function, this, that. So I'm just doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I cannot do on stream because of, obviously, NDAs. And I'm playing a lot of CT. I think I have like 500 hours on the last build. So yeah, obviously it sucks because I don't get to stream, and I don't get to grow in this week. But I don't know. I'm glad you guys remembered me and you still came here, and I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna talk a bit about it. I don't know if you guys have any questions maybe that you want to ask about the Falconer or whatever. You know, you could play. Oops. Now you could play old bow mage. You know? What if you played old bow mage? You know. Can you imagine going back to old bow mage now? We were even talking with Bolka. We were even considering. What the fuck am I? I'm playing Televaros. That was the quickest logout I've ever done. So no theory crafting right now. You guys want to see some theory crafting? We can do that. We can do some theory crafting. I mean, I don't really like doing this because I'm obviously aware of everything that is OP. Because I've been playing the game on CT for 500 hours for the last 3 months, right? So I basically know everything, and I don't really want to like spoil it, or I don't really want to ruin the. I don't really want to like fully, you know, like I you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think all the people on CT on Maxroll, I think Tarek is at 400 hours or something too, and keep in mind Tarek has to update all the leveling guides, but that's why he's not streaming either. Like he has so much fucking work. One day I would be in CT. I tell you what, Aloisi. You certainly qualify with some of the people I've seen in there. Holy fuck. It is, it is a zoo. What faction do I plan to go? COF. 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 Actually, what have they teased about? What have they teased? Have they showed prophecies? Is this impossible to find on? What have they teased? Have they teased some prophecies? They've teased all the levels, right? Action poll. Kind of interesting, actually. Will you prepare a Falconer tier list? Yeah, we'll have everything. Okay, so they have teased this, right? That the prophecies are doubled. Have they teased any? Okay, let's see. How do I look at this properly? Oh my god, I can't see anything. Let's see if they've tested something, so I can speak about it. Uniques, Salted, Legendaries, that's all they test. Is there a video? There's a video, right? See in the video they do something, because otherwise I can't speak about it. They show the perks. Yeah, I'm not looking for the perks. I'm looking for the prophecies. Let's see. Let's see if a prophecy shows, I'll explain. Okay. It showed everything I needed, okay? So, small errant idol when you kill Dead of Raya, right? 12 small errant idols, okay? Have they showed how many prophecies can you get? Can someone confirm? Can someone confirm they showed how many you can get active? They showed the... I remember they showed, right? No, those are lenses. Those are lenses, not prophecies. Is there a screenshot that shows like the little bubbles? They show the page with 40 weight or something. Okay, let's just say it's 48, right? Let's just say it's 48. That's all I need to know. 12 times 48 times. 576 times 2, 1152. So, in theory, this is just a theory, of course. You can get 1152 idols drop from a single boss. It's just a theory, though. I have no... like... From a boss, from one boss. And I have obviously never seen this happen in game, okay? Obviously, but I mean, technically, no, maybe. What do you guys think? Maybe. Okay, so shall we do Falcon builds, boys? Falcon builds. Let's start with the marksman build, no? Marksman build or what? We start with the marksman one. I mean, Volka's actually the guy who kind of like min-maxed this. So I'm basically just paraphrasing everything Volka's gonna say. If you guys don't know Volka, you know, just... He's on Twitch too. I'll link his thing. He's gonna be writing it on Maxroll. So I'm basically, and obviously there's been a lot of theory crafting between him, Terek, and everyone in the team. But he's basically in charge of. He's gonna be publishing this build. Because I'm busy, you know, I am busy updating Mage. Really fun, guys. Guys, while all the boys are working, I can actually show this. Dude, while all the boys are having fun with new builds, this is what I have to do. Updating Holy Trail Javelin and Manifest Armor. While my team is making new Shaman builds and new like Warlock builds and shit. I'm updating minions. Like I have to play Flame Wraith, man. Oh my god. And you deserve a flashbang for this. I don't care anymore. You deserve suffering. Oh, I'm kind of jealous, honestly, but someone has to do it. Alright, let's look at it. I mean, he kind of showed what the passive tree is gonna be, right? So, you're gonna want attack speed, obviously, because if you have attack speed, that means you're gonna cast more traps, right? Obviously, this is less damage taken, always good. And obviously haste on hit chance, that's always good because we're gonna be going Boots of the Erased, so always good. And we need an extra point. You want dexterity, so why not? Right? We'll see how much dexterity we get. You're probably gonna grab this. I always like getting this just for the movement speed, honestly. It's nice, and the Dex Glancing Blow is also nice. So you could also grab this, but let's hold. Falconer, you're gonna need at least the trap, at least. Right? Dexterity is nice too. This is nice too for defense. And mana gain on dodge is nice too for just like sustain, honestly. So you probably grab that. And obviously you grab this. Because, well, chance to get on haste and more damage with haste. As you guys know, Bow Mage and all these builds, they don't really have a lot of damage multipliers. So the fact that you can get, even if it's a small damage multiplier like this, it's kind of nice. And obviously we're gonna go Ward on haste. So Ward on haste with boots. So yeah. Again, I don't really know what you will do here. Like you can go Dex, why not? You could go mana and dodge rating. Like you could do like something like this. Just 4 points here. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. I'm sure he has figured it out. What the best is. Maybe he doesn't even grab this. I have no idea, honestly. But maybe you go this. Then obviously on Marksman you want the attack speed as always. This is good. Some crit vulnerability is nice. Crit avoidance is always nice. So a lot of us are actually going double point in here. And this is a regular crit chance, so it actually works with both. You probably put 1 point or 2 here. You have so many hits. And dexterity always nice. You can go literally into anything here. Concentration is always nice for the if you want the movement speed, why not at least, right? Doesn't really matter, like I said. 1 point here, why not? Bow damage leads as health, whatever. You always want the Silver Shroud though. And then Sharpshooter, because you want to get to the shred. Obviously you want to have the crit, you want to have the shred, and you want to have the crit multi. And normally you want to grab at least this, you know. You don't really want the cost. And so the rest of the points, how you use them, doesn't really, I don't think it really matters. But you probably just want maybe more concentration, maybe a bit more of this. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You could go for more glancing blow and dexterity, just for the lols. You could go more dexterity and HP. You could go something defensive. It honestly doesn't really fucking matter. I'm not gonna lie, right? How much of the obvious OP stuff did you see balanced? I cannot say that. You can only ask me about Falcon. Yeah, this decks, classic, right? I can't really say. I can only talk about these things. Again, this could be nice for defense, right? Dodge is nice. We'll see. And obviously now we go to skills. Again, I'm not gonna fully spoil it. I don't know why you get 5 points for 8 MS. Depends, right? I really like it. Depends. Depends on your gear, depends on the build. I always grab it, especially early. And obviously you're gonna need Reign of Winter, right? 100 weapons, 200 bow. You can do... The reason why the logos are fucked is because we're cooking something, okay? Don't worry, it will be fixed. Then you go Boots of the Erased. And then you go Tundra Gloves. Where are Tundra Gloves? Frostbite Shackles. What the fuck are they? Oh, Frostbite Shackles, right? And then basically what you want to do on your skills, on Detonate Arrow, if you want more DPS, you go this route, right? You don't actually need these points because you're not casting, but you want these points, right? Or more procs. This is for DPS, this route, and the cone obviously. This is for DPS. This is for you still want that, and this is for survivability. These are incompatible, right? Because you cannot get tendrils with freeze. But we believe freeze is gonna be, if they keep this node like this is gonna be the OP way to do it. And obviously you wanna get max area, you know, some crit boon, why not, you know. Shock doesn't, to be honest, doesn't fucking matter. Like the hit chance doesn't matter. Like, you're just proccing it for spells, right? Then you want your trap, right? And your trap, you need to get this 100%, right? And you probably want the less mana, you want the throwing attack speed, so you make it as cheap as possible. And then you want to make sure that you grab this stuff. You don't really need this, honestly. You just want this stuff and this stuff, right? And with the rest, you know, this with additional points you could put. You can really do kind of like whatever you want, honestly. Like, additionally, you want more points because you wanna find a way to sustain it as much as possible. But ideally, you want to do something like this, right? Your traps are always exploding. But I don't think you really need to max it out. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. And eventually, a full tree would look something like this with 25 points. It's full on, you know. I don't know exactly if you need these points or not because you're making them instantly explode. So, but I assume if you're missing, they don't explode. So you want to have the trap. So. It would depend on what you're doing. If you're bossing, you don't need these nodes because they just instantly explode. But if you're mapping, you maybe want these nodes. So for bossing, you probably take this, and for mapping, you take this. And again, I don't know. I will have to test myself. Then you can just get shift, of course, with the classic, you know, shuriken bullshit. You know, you can go for cleanse. You can go for a cooldown and the classic, you know, stuff. Doesn't really matter, right? Want to make sure you get your shurikens. Then for shurikens, the classic shuriken tree, the tank tree, basically, which you just go, this, which is the best for defense and survivability. Right? If you have extra points, you put them here. And for the last ability, you can kind of do whatever you want, really. Smoke bomb, you know, decoy. Literally whatever the fuck you want, honestly. Doesn't matter. I'll probably do decoy. But, kind of like up to you. Smoke bomb also nice. And that's pretty much it. Then you just build a shit ton of cold dress on your gear. And get HP idols. Damage while wielding a bow. Dexterity fucking everywhere. Yeah, Ocearon, yeah. Ocearon for the blessing. You also want the Lagon blessing. This is Lagon blessing, freeze rate stuff, and you want to build freeze rate for a stack of chill. So with like Ocearon and things like that. Ocearon. And just full decks everywhere, basically. Just full decks everywhere. And cold resistance everywhere. On your idols, you probably want to get the large idols with HP. And either cold dress, basically, and you just grab. I don't know why it's displayed like that. And you just grab 4 of those. Then you grab 1 Throne of Ambition, right? And you just grab the small idols, you know, with HP and cold dress or whatever. And you're Gucci, you know. You just like that. You have 154 res, which will be a lot of water retention for you just with the gloves. 100 and something. And you just, I mean, you know the drill. You know how to do it. And you do Ballista Cook next. Yeah, we can do Ballista Cook. Again, I don't want to do all of it. Because, you know. By the way, the poll ended up like this, for those wondering. Sorry for the flashbang. Really, a lot of people voted, so nice. pretty. I would say it's gonna be pretty close. I would say trade is gonna be, the more casual people they play, the more people are gonna go on trade, right? Like always, in most games, which is normal, I guess, right? Like, I think if it's your first time if you play trade, you're gonna be able to play literally any build you want, because you can just trade rares at level 1, and you can literally beat the game with rares. So, can you group self-found with Fortune Faction? Yes, Commander. You can play as a 4-man group, all playing Faction, all playing Fortune together, not trading with other people at all. And on top of that, if you are not playing with each other at some point, you can use the resonances you drop by playing with each other. Basically, there is this thing, like in the trade post, it's explained. I'll link it to you. Fuck. It's explained here on the video too. But basically, it's explained here, I think. These things. So basically, these resonances drop tied to people you play with, and you're able to trade. With the yellow ones, you can trade shitty items, and with the... even if you're not playing with each other when the item dropped, and with the purple ones, you can trade any item. Okay. And then for the cook that you guys to see, the Falconer cook, well, there's a lot of things you can do. I'm not gonna tease some of the tech that my boys are cooking, because it's for them to reveal that stuff. So I'm gonna keep the weapon unmentioned, because they're cooking some stuff, and I feel like they kind of deserved showing the tech, since they found it, not me. But yeah, I mean, full dexterity. You don't really care about attack speed, really. I mean, they do actually scale with it, but you're probably, I mean, you're doing traps yourself, so maybe you do actually. I don't know. Maybe you do want the speed. I'll have to ask. But you for sure want all the decks possible. I don't know if this one or another. So we'll have to see. And then we go to Falcon, and we want all the minion shit, pretty much. 5. Man on dodge sounds good, but again, chance to get haste on hit. I don't know if that's gonna be that important, we'll see. Definitely want dexterity. I don't think you really care about this. I mean, you might just grab a coin just to cap it, because you're gonna have so many hits. Maybe. So much with a bow, chance to buff Falcon. If you go full ballistas, you don't really need that. You don't really need that either. You're for sure gonna grab this. Again, just giving ideas here. I haven't fully min-maxed it. You might wanna go this for defenses. Doesn't really matter. You grab all this stuff. If you cook something weird, you might wanna do this if you wanna go defensive. We'll talk about that, I guess. You gotta be very careful with this node, because you don't actually want 5 points if you don't want to lose your block. So be very careful. This is a very easy way to get full glancing blow with a shield, but I think it's better to go block and glancing blow. Not taking avian hurl. Well, I haven't got there yet, right? But this I'm doing a ballista tree now. I'm doing a ballista tree. What do you play with block traps? You will see. Is there a way to reset SSF of online? Play SSF? I mean, delete your shit? I don't know. I think you can message support, but I don't know if they're gonna listen to you. And I think you can do something with Steam when you can make an account linked to a... I think Dread made a video about it. I think you can basically make a fresh account tied to your Steam as a member of your family or something, and share the same game. I think, but or you could just play offline, TUS. Just play offline and practice offline with fresh run. That's what I do at the moment. Again, I have never done that myself, so yeah. And obviously for this. This is kind of nice just to have the Silver Shroud. Just 1 point here. Every build is gonna have this. I think 1 point here. I don't know how much you're gonna use the thing. Maybe you use the Falcon to buff you or whatever. I don't really know. Again, maybe you max that. Maybe you max this. It will really depend on what you wanna do. This 1 point for sure. I don't know if this is worth it, honestly, but if you're playing hardcore, you for sure put a point here or two. You probably want this just to get the mana at these 3 points. And I'm pretty sure if you make your traps go 0 mana, right? Because trap by default is 10 mana, but you can give it effectiveness and then get reduced mana cost on your rings. I'm pretty sure you can make it 0 mana and turn it into a generator. And yeah, and after that you just go fucking full minion shit, you know. Armor per dex, you're for sure gonna grab this shit, because you're gonna be stacking decks like a fucking madman, right? And, you know, movement speed, damage while taken, obviously you're gonna grab this. And then the rest, honestly, doesn't fucking matter, just every dex in the world. All the decks, basically. All the decks. You might wanna grab some points here for the crit multi, maybe. I don't know. Like, definitely you're gonna grab all the decks. All the decks, all the speed, right? All the decks, all the speed. All the decks, all the speed. All the glancing blow. You know the drill. Wouldn't you need 2 tier 6 mana rolls to explosive trap 0 mana? No, you need 2 tier 6s because there's mana effectiveness on the 3. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're doing it with tier 6s from what I've seen. And those, I mean, it's not gonna be a problem. So common. And then obviously for skills, you're gonna do trap, right? This doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter because you're actually not doing this. You're actually doing this, but you're not doing it like this. Are you more high for Falcon or Warlock? Equal, honestly. Honestly, I don't really care about the new classes. I know they're gonna be broken, right? I can tell you that much. They're gonna be broken. So I tend to avoid things that are extremely broken to the point where I'm not comfortable. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna play Leech on launch. I'm just gonna go Leech hardcore SSF. I really don't care. I don't really care. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I get peer pressure into playing something new because people want, you know, like people don't want to watch. If I open my stream and no one is watching because the new shit, I don't know. We'll see. But basically, you're gonna need the, I think it's dive bomb with, where is it? The ballista shit. Not dive bomb, I guess. It's aerial assault. Maybe. You for sure want to have this, right? For the ballista damage per intelligence and increased attack speed. Especially the ballista damage per int is pretty big. And then on ballistas, there's 2 ways to play it. You can go for the classic ballista. Like if you go, there's 2 ways to play it, and they're both gonna be broken. One is regular crit ballista, which is the classic by Bina, and I have it on my YouTube too. Or you just play this, and they're just attacking, right? Like this, and you just cast them. And this is basically, you can see the tree there. They're just shooting very fast. I'm pretty sure I have a video myself where I play them with marksman. And they're just gonna be doing 20 times the damage they're doing in this video. And you can also do explosive ballista, which is also gonna be broken. Where that's the video I made. This is 2 years ago, so this is the original ballista build where they're just ballistaing. Right? And there's the one where you put them as traps on the ground and they explode. And that one you have to go here. More damage per dexterity, right? And more area per dexterity. So you can make some pretty crazy things basically. If you go for the attack speed area, just copy the tree that I showed you, and if you go for the detonate thingy, you don't care about duration at all. You actually want less duration, right? You want the multiplier for sure, right? You don't care that the duration lasts long. You want to give it the damage ratio so it converts. You want to give it the multiplier, and you don't care about the less attack speed, and you want to give it your crit multiplier ratio, so they double dip, right, from the crit multiplier. Again, you don't care about the attack speed stuff and the shooting stuff. You don't care about any of the pairs, any of that. You just want all the damage possible. And then you don't care about this either. And you just want the explosive bullshit, right? And you just go full fucking damage, basically. Right? You can go tripwire too if you want. And then on traps, you just on traps. Where's traps? You just do. You don't care about this actually. You care about that. You care about this. You don't care about this at all. The fire shred you actually won. And then you go for this. And just full mana effect and shit. And this is what you do pretty much. I don't know if you actually use this now, because it makes it too expensive. And then you get all the mana efficiency, and then you get the rings. And you just throw them, and you just throw traps that make ballistas that explode, and it's just like a boom, 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 boom. And whenever you guys see this live, this is PoE. What build do I think will have the most damage? Minions. I mean, minions are gonna have the most damage still. Like again, keep in mind this build, right, that I'm describing here, just from the passive tree, Right now, how many decks we have? It's not telling me actually. You're gonna get like 100. You know, we're gonna get at least 100. Let's just say you get 100 dexterity, right? And you get at least 200 crit avoidance. Well, you alone are getting, you know, 80 crit multi here, 100 crit multi here, whatever crit multi you have on your weapon and your other gear, it's gonna be more, plus all the dex, plus you can go double, you know, you can go int plus dex on every item. So dex is giving you 8% multiplier. So if you have 100 dex, that's 800% multiplier, 800, right? And if you get also, like, let's just say 60 int, right? You also get 120% multiplier. And on top of that, you have 40% multiplier, 45% stacking thingy. You can also, obviously, you'll get more points, right? You'll get a 36% multiplier, and this 40% multiplier. So yeah, this shit. I don't know, man. In my head, like with full gear, and keep in mind this motherfucker, you're gonna be able to go, like, let's just say you go a bow, right? Let's just say we go a bow. And you go, like, it doesn't really matter. Let's just say you go the ballista bow. Where is it? Which, by the way, gives cold resistance. Just in case, if you wanna get word to or whatever. That's 25% physical damage for minions, and then you can get the new suffixes that they've teased on the trade video, where you can get flat minion, flat damage here, crit multi, right? Just say you get this maxed, 80 crit multi, plus bow physical damage, or fire actually, because it's gonna be fire. Flat crit multi. And then on your quiver, obviously, or whatever you use, dex int. You can use all the items that give +5 attributes or whatever. You don't care about leech because you're getting healed by your hits on minions. You can go what is it called? Pick up the mountain, 5 all attributes, you know. It's I mean, you can see it here. And have you seen the reveal, Dreadful? You clearly have not seen the reveal because it's the first thing we say. But maybe watch it. But drop is for everyone. But it literally shows this is a marksman and with drop on the Caesar Run video. You should probably watch the video. So yeah. I got to watching it while I was talking about things, yeah. So again, you see where this is going, right? Are the guys gonna be on Maxroll before launch? Yeah. All the... $19th. So if you wonder why I'm not streaming and I'm tired, there it is. Is there a good build where Falcon is doing all the damage? Yeah. Look at this young man. Holy. Like the build Boardman showed is crazy. You can do Bleed Falcon, like... This build does crazy damage. I'll show it.
That does a single hit in a big area. Round up.
Actually, he shows
One of the
it here,
sweet
no?
things that you can get to do with the Falcon is it has great damage effectiveness, and you can also clearing. Then whenever you need
this build is pretty
we're gonna
nuts.
have aerial assault. We're gonna have dive bomb.
And it's completely auto bomber, you know.
Falcon strikes, and then we'll be throwing some trap. Every time that we use aerial assault, we'll leap forward. Our Falcon will have a nice feather storm that he puts out there. We'll have dive bomb to come down and absolutely
doing all the
destroy
abilities
enemies
non-stop,
for single target
basically.
in a short area. And then when you really need, you can have Falcon strikes go off, which is going to allow us to just have a bunch of attacks on a whole bunch of enemies in a small area. And then whenever you need to buff your Falcon, we can throw out traps. And every time a trap explodes, it's going to give penetration for our Falcon, allowing his damage to scale and get absolutely ridiculous. Due to dive bomb having really great damage, a lot of added damage effectiveness and scalars with it, single target is just as good as clearing, so you can go super fast if you just want to speedrun echoes or if you want to take on bosses.
What's the tank on this build like?
It's very tanky. You even get to leech a portion of the damage that the Falcon is doing, and because it does so much damage, you can pretty much always count on a ton of leech coming in to keep you alive.
That's why things like Ballista are just gonna be even
Volker,
better.
show us more of the crazy bow build.
You know.
Yeah, so we're using Explosive Trap as the main skill here. So proccing tons of detonating arrows and icicles from the Rain of Winterbow. Otherwise, it's a classic bow playstyle, so using shift for movement and smoke bomb.
So again, so far things that I think are gonna be strong: Falcon on its own doing big crits, bleed builds mainly focused around the Falcon, and at least 2 different ballista builds I've seen that are gonna be really broken. And then obviously Trap is like its own archetype that you can play it on any class, you know. A lot of Blade Dancer bullshit, a lot of Umbra Blade Shadow Dagger support too, like with the fucking aerial assault ability and proccing Umbra Blades and all that. So you basically have your Shadow Dagger build in there too. And then obviously traps. I'm sure there's gonna be some sort of like laying traps on the ground and waiting for comboing with decoy with like, again, what is it called? This thing again? Like the blast something. This thing. I could see this being decent. Because again, you can just do traps, fire traps, right? They're throwing hits. They give you fire pen. And you can just like, you know, traps, decoy, make sure enemies run into the decoy, so you throw the traps, and it's like its own thingy where you're just like trap, 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 decoy, trap, 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 decoy, trap, 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 decoy, trap, 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 decoy, trap, something like that. And you build like the lower part of the node, like the this stuff here, like damage per second and damage after arming time, and I don't know. I think the bullshit from what I've seen is clearly superior.
These utility skills like shurikens for tankiness.
Just because you can make it instantly explode, right, with the node after that you unlock after bow.
For full clarity, the build we're showing here is actually a marksman. This
Oh, there
specs
you
into
go.
the Falconer tree to gain access.
Let's see what he spec'd actually, if it was similar to mine.
For full clarity, the build we're showing here
8, 1, 5, 5, 4. Yeah, he's also going for the 0 mana cost, I guess, so he can try to make it
is actually a marksman.
generator.
This spec
And then he's going 1, 1, 5, like I said, 1. He's putting a few more points here. 2, he's putting more points here. I don't know why. 4, 5. I don't know why this. This basically the same.
specs into the Falconer tree.
If you know, you know. You
To
know.
gain access to-
This is why I, and of course I don't know. I guess he needs mana regen. This is why you know I don't need to babysit Bolka.
Skills and
this is
passive
great.
perks.
Overall, really like strong DPS
Hell
build.
yeah, brother.
It's really squishy though, so you need to be basically just killing enemies before they kill you. Basically no defense. You don't really need any defense with this build, to be honest, because as you can see, the gameplay is just, well, kind of.
And to be honest, if you really wanted this, you could make this and not play with Icicle Bow and just go full, you know. You could even focus on the spark charges, for example, go full spell because you have the spark charges on the tree on the bottom. Like you can do so many things. You could do full bow damage. You could, to be honest, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But stacking decks, Morning Frost, Monka. Another thing that I didn't say. Okay, actually we forgot to talk about this. On the build of Falcon, you can actually go Morning Frost, right? Because I asked the devs, by the way. This is a bug. Well, this is not intended. They forgot to change this, but I don't think they will change it. This increased freeze rate multiplier is % increase. So this is actually a 2 times multiplier, right? Like you guys remember how the helmet used to be this helmet used to be a 100% increased freeze rate multiplier, and it doubled your freeze rate multi when people were doing frostbite builds. So I asked on Ask the Depths, but this is still a multiplier, Nate. So this will double all your freeze rate. This is a times 2 multiplier. If you roll 100%, right? So basically what you do is you can go these boots, go full dex, right? Go all the suffixes cold dress, and then you just do frostbite shackles. And because you have ward gain on freeze, guess how much are you gonna be freezing with this build? And also on Quiver you can go this thing, which applies frostbite, so enemies are more likely to get frozen. So again, if you do this and you just get cold dress, again, I'm just gonna do a dummy planner really quick so you guys can realize how strong this can get. It's a bit annoying that the logos are all fucked because of data pooling. Let's just say you go, again, I'm just gonna do gold rings for the sake of it, okay? Actually, I'm just gonna double it. Okay. Doesn't matter what we do actually. . We could do LRS actually, for the sake of it. We could also get Cold Dress here, right? And kind of trolling just to show if you really want to go for it, right? Just really quickly. We don't need threat because traps are gonna do it for us, right? Where is cold threat? What is it called? Chill is nice. We don't need the frostbite. We got the cold dress, and that kind of works. So you guys see right now I have 1,257 cold dress, which obviously that's 1,400 something word retention. I said, okay, Lisa, but how are you gonna get your word? Also, ideally, you want an OCR on here, but whatever. Just delete. Ah, fuck. Let's just say you get an OCR on the cold dress, okay? Right, so you have like 1,000 cold dress or whatever. Free stack on stack of shield. This fucking doubles. Freeze rate multiplier of the wazoo. You also get the freeze rate blessing here, right? Whatever it is. Right. And now on your skills. Now on your skills, you just do this. And I have freeze rate per cold dress. That's 5 flat, right? And this is per cold dress. And because I have 1,220 cold dress, multiplied by 5, I have 6,000 base freeze rate. And so I'm basically every hit freezes, pretty much, right? So yeah, it's gonna be good. I don't know, other things that caught my attention. You know. Is that staying in multiplayer? Who don't? No, it's not definitely, Nate. Not definitely. Nothing is definite, right? Everything is subject to change. But we'll see. We definitely try to bring it up right now, no? And all the Falcon stuff. I think all the acid flask thing is kind of memey. But I mean, some of these nodes are broken, you know, more damage per level, more damage per dex. That just sounds kind of crazy, you know. Dexterity is gonna be so valuable. If you have like a ballista Falcon build, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Where you're like falconing around and then, you know, going in with your ballistas and shit. And I mean, if they leave Snap Freeze, hopefully not, right? Hopefully they don't leave Snap Freeze. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, this has been the reveal, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to do my best. I hope I entertained you as much as I could.